So let me just give a few rules, right? When you hear the first bell, that's your first minute. That's when you can start asking POI. Then when you hear the second bell, 2 POIs. You can't ask more than 2. When the speaker is speaking, you can only take only two POIs only, right? And then you can't ask more than 2. And you have only 15 seconds to ask your POI. Maybe it's 15 seconds. We just have to shut it down, whatever you're saying. So whenever you want to ask a POI, go straight to the point, because you only have 15 seconds for each POI that you ask, and the maximum you can take is only 2 per speech. Thank you very much. First prop, here.
Step into my arena of reason, where every argument is a weapon and every fact is ammunition. At this point, I'll give honor to whom honor is due. Good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, my co-debaters, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow students. I who stands before you is no other than Dades Abel, an emerging scholarship powerhouse from the prestigious JC Best Schools International. And I'm here to support the motion which states, the House believes that vocational training should be prioritized over university education in Nigeria. I'm the first speaker, and I'll be speaking on the Nigerian experience, using that to compare vocational training and university education. My second speaker will be looking at the measures the government has put in place and how it can be improved. My third speaker will be speaking to the international experience in contrast to what Nigeria has on ground and how that affects the economic growth of the nation. But before I proceed, a demystification of the key terms from the topic is imperative. First, vocational training. According to the handbook of the International Center for Vocational and Technical Education and Training, in their handbook in 2006, they define vocational training as those aspects of the academic process that involves, first, technology and other related sciences, and the acquisition of practical skills, attitudes, education and knowledge relating to various sectors of the economy and social life. And additionally, according to the International Labour Organization on Skills for a Digital World in 2020, they mentioned that with the integration of technology into every industry, vocational training now includes ICT literacy, the use of digital tools, and learning to operate modern day machines and systems. Prioritize. A widely accepted scholarly definition of prioritize comes from Stephen Covey, a renowned author and leadership expert. In his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which we all read in our Basic 5 in JC Best Schools International, he defined prioritization as putting first things first. That is, organizing and executing around your most important values and goals rather than reacting to urgencies. University education is formal, tertiary level academic instruction, leading to the award of bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degrees. Mr. Chairman, I do not seek to diminish the value of academic excellence. Rather, I'm here to highlight an urgent mismatch between our current academic focus and the needs of our real world in the economy. Permit me to take the opposition on a mental journey through the Nigerian experience. As at the second quarter of 2024, Next Group organization puts Nigeria's overall unemployment rate at 4.3%. A modest decline from previous quarters, but still reflective of structural challenges in job creation. Even more troubling, 6.5% was the rate of unemployment among Nigerian youth aged 15 to 24. According to LearnArc, in February 26, 2025, the Nigerian universities collectively produce around an average of 600,000 graduates every year, but only a fraction of them find meaningful or gainful employment upon graduation. This annual influx of degree holders into a system that cannot absorb them is a formula for underemployment, frustration, and wasted potential. Contrast this with Nigeria's vocational training ecosystem. The Industrial Training Fund alone posts job placement exceeding 70% for its certified trainees in key sectors such as manufacturing, construction, and ICT. From the Nigerian National Statistical Office, 92.7% of all employment in the first quarter of 2024 was considered as informal, work that rely heavily on hands-on skills rather than academic credentials. Nigeria does not lack ambition. It lacks alignment. We continue to funnel young people into degrees that promise little in terms of direct job readiness, while we neglect a vibrant vocational sector which already has high placements and promises to, and it already caters for the needs of 92.7% of our job market. If we are serious about reducing unemployment, empowering artisans, and driving sustainable growth, then it is time to prioritize vocational training over university education in Nigeria. Still on the Nigerian experience, I can authoritatively tell you that vocational training has positive impact on Nigeria's economic development and growth. Nigeria's growth is dependent on our ability to diversify beyond oil, and these vocational skills play vital roles in sectors of the economy that contribute heavily to our GDP. To back up my assertion, according to the published Vanguard News in August 2024, the ICT or digital sector, which is driven by telecom, software, and media, now contributes about 18 to 19% of our GDP. Agriculture similarly remains huge, contributing about 20 to 26% of our GDP, with millions working as farmers. Skilled vocational workers will increase productivity. Agrotech technicians will increase crop yield, and digital skills will continue to feed the booming ICT industry. Contrast this with the university education. Most graduates end up taking jobs that are not related to their degrees, or they remain unemployed. Nigeria needs more farm mechanics, construction electricians, ICT technicians, and other hands-on roles more urgently than the generalized academic degrees. In recent times, Nigerians create their own jobs. Data from the NBS, Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, shows that 87.3% of Nigerian workers are self-employed. Vocational training encourages entrepreneurship and small business creation, which is a key path to employment and job creation. Indeed, a study by the World Bank in northern Nigeria found that vocational apprentices were found to be 17 to 35% more likely to be working, and they also saw 17 to 38% increase in self-employment income. By contrast, we see that university programs produce graduates who are just seeking formal jobs, but in an economy where jobs are scarce, many degrees go to waste. Prioritizing vocational training equips youth with the skill to start businesses and fill labor shortages, therefore multiplying employment opportunities in sectors like retail, agriculture, and crafts. My distinguished panel of judges, with facts laid bare and arguments made clear, I leave this stage with the strength of truth in your hearts. Thank you.
Okay, thank you first, Prof. Speaker, for that wonderful speech. We call upon the first Prof. Speaker to start the case for the opposition side. Yeah.
$281 universities, 149 being private, 69 being state, 63 being federal. Does this seem like a joke to you? They are proof why the federal, state, and individuals invest in university education. Good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, my fellow debaters, worthy opponents. My name is Folo Oshobire, and I am here and I strongly oppose the motion that says vocational training should be prioritized over university education. Though vocational training may seem essential, prioritizing it over university education will be a detriment to Nigeria's growth. Well, first, I will define the concept university. What is a university? It is an institution. It is an institution of higher education, typically bigger than a college, typically bigger and larger than a college. It is a place where graduates and postgraduates come to get their certificates. It is a place where graduates and postgraduates come to get their certificates. It is a place where academic research is done. University education provides critical thinking, problem-solving skills, intellectual exploration, research, and leadership. It also equips graduates with practical skills for critical professions like medicine, law, and engineering. Nigeria needs highly skilled professionals to enhance economic growth. Vocational careers do not offer high salary, and this does not help economic growth. University education plays a vital role developing human capital, fostering entrepreneurship and innovation, enhancing global competitiveness. Prioritizing vocational training over university education limits opportunities to students to gain access to advanced training, skills, knowledge like professional expertise. Universities provide advanced training for critical professions like medicine, law, and engineering, while vocational careers are viewed as less privileged. Diverse career opportunities. University education opens doors to various career opportunities like leadership and entrepreneurship, while vocational training has limited career opportunity flexibility. Without furthering their education, they cannot further their opportunities. Leadership development. They nurture future leaders, equipping them with necessary skills and knowledge to be able to manage and survive life challenges. Full long-term benefits. Investing in university education yields long-term benefits for individuals, schools, and societies. Examples are higher earning potential. Studies show that every additional year of schooling can increase 10% of income, better career prospects, network opportunities, personal development, job securities, long life currency. The skills and knowledge acquired through university education
theoretical, producing fewer graduates. In contrast, short vocational programs adjust rapidly to industry needs. By investing in such training, Nigeria can power its digital economy and provide high-value jobs without the bottleneck of degree programs. Mr. Chairman, it is imperative that Nigeria prioritize vocational training over university education. Certain steps have already been taken towards this goal via the creation of polytechnics and vocational centers, but the Nigeria government should channel resources into these institutions so as to equip them and make them more effective in the carrying out of their set objectives. A list of some of these vocational institutions, also known as polytechnics, are: 1. The Federal Polytechnic in Ilaro, Ogun State, and its motto is, do take note, technology towards development. Federal Polytechnic in Oko, Anambra State, motto happens to be skill for technological development. The Rufus Giwa Polytechnic in Owo, Ondo State, its motto is technology for self-reliance. And finally, the Auchi Polytechnic in Edo State, motto is hands and brains for development. Mr. Chairman, we wouldn't want the hands and brains for development to be tied down, neither would we want the skill for technology to be in chains. And so, therefore, prioritizing vocational education over university education promotes entrepreneurship and contributes to our economic growth. Therefore, by equipping individuals with practical skills, vocational training offers a sustainable solution to many of the problems faced by Nigeria's workforce today. The Nigeria Key Development Initiatives for Economic Growth and Diversification includes the following, amongst others. Firstly, we have the 3MTT, 3 million technical talents. This aims to build a skilled workforce to adjust Nigeria's digital economy. Secondly, we have Nigeria Artificial Intelligence Research Scheme, which fosters an AI ecosystem that provides financial support and knowledge sharing. And finally, we have the National Youth Talent Export Program, which focuses on exporting our youth talent to bring about foreign remittance into the country. Mr. Chairman, how can these key development initiatives be carried out? How can they be achieved and realized if the government does not prioritize vocational training? Would we want to leave all this to the hands of the traditional university education system? My honorable panel of judges, at this point, we've dismantled the myths and built bridges of logic. Now, let the enduring light of truth guide you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Speaker, for that wonderful speech. We call up on the second speaker from the opposition side. Here.
According to the Joint Admission Matriculation Board, over 1.9 million candidates sat for this year's 2025 UTME exams. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, if given permission, I would like to ask, how many of you passed vocational training? I'm sure that over 80% of you are university graduates. Why prioritize vocational training over university education when it is obvious the majority of Nigerians' population are attending universities? Good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, fellow debaters, Mr. Moderator, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Emmanuel Akupolati, and I stand before you all today to firmly and directly oppose the motion which says vocational training should be prioritized over university education. The debate as to whether university education or vocational training should be prioritized is complex and depends on individual goals, career aspiration, and a specific context. While my opponent has argued that vocational training provides quicker access to jobs and skills, university education often leads to higher career options, higher earning potentials, and the development of valuable skills. University education fosters personal growth, expands knowledge, perspectives, and contributes greatly to the societal advancement. I am firmly convinced, and you all agree with me, given the plethora of reasons I'll be canvassing here on, that vocational training should not be prioritized over university education in Nigeria. First and foremost, I would like to say, for university education fosters and offers career and economic benefits such as increased job opportunities, higher earning potential, and career advancement. University education provides individuals with the skills and knowledge needed for taking on leadership roles and promotion. A university degree often opens doors to a wider range of career paths, including those in professional and managerial fields. Studies consistently show that those with a university degree tend to significantly earn higher over their lifetime than their counterparts in vocational training. Similarly, by not prioritizing vocational training over university education in Nigeria, the personal and intellectual development of citizens in Nigeria will as well be promoted. University education helps to enhance critical thinking skills, problem-solving skills, and the development of knowledges and skills. A university degree provides and encourages students to develop arguments, analyze information, and solve complex programs. A university
A vocational training program or center might not always prioritize socialization and mingling among the students, potentially limiting their networking and connection. Sir, another major reason why vocational training should not be prioritized over university education is the entry requirements. The entry requirement for university is about 5 credits, while the entry, including maths and English, while the entry requirement for vocational education is just 2 or 3 credits. Mr. Chairman, why prioritize vocational training over university education when it is obvious that those attending universities are more brilliant and are more committed to their studies? Sir, there is no gain saying that vocational training should not be prioritized over university education because university education helps to drive economic growth and reduce poverty. University education drives economic growth by providing a more specialized, educated, and skilled workforce. Higher education can provide individuals with the means to escape poverty and achieve economic stability. Another major reason why vocational training should not be prioritized over university education is because university education plays a crucial role in the development of individuals and the society at large. It plays a crucial role in the path to success by ensuring critical thinking skills, problem-solving skills, and many more. A university education environment helps students to broaden their horizon by encouraging cultural ideas and traditions. Mr. Chairman, if we prioritize vocational training over university education in Nigeria, 2 things will happen. Firstly, Nigeria, our country Nigeria, will become the underpaid labor force of the world, leaving the rest of the world to make all decisions about science and technology. Secondly, providing funds to university education also means prioritizing it. If we prioritize vocational training over university education in Nigeria, only a few privileged ones will be university educated, meaning they'll be running all the jobs. They'll be the managers, historians, bankers, and many more. Do you really want every decision about your life to be made by few privileged ones who have no idea about living in the real world? Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I dare say that the proponents of vocational training over university education is overly simplistic and bereft of the understanding that university education plays a crucial role in the development of individuals, the society, and the world at large. By ensuring critical thinking skills, higher earning potential, civic engagement, among others, university education without doubt deserves a place of pride in the Nigerian education system. I am firmly convinced, and you will all agree with me, that vocational training should not be prioritized over university education. Rather, university education should be placed at the topmost priority in Nigeria. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Speaker, for that wonderful speech. We call up on the 3rd speaker from the proposition side. Here.
To give logic to evil is to allow evil to thrive. Good day, Mr. Chairman. All protocols duly observed. Before your very face is Adeni Alima, an emerging scholarship powerhouse from the prestigious JSP Schools International, here to also serve as your leading light to the inevitable conclusion that this House believes that vocational education should be prioritized over university education in Nigeria. The international experience of the Asian tigers will be used to convey the undeniable truths. The economic trajectories of the 4 Asian tigers, South Korea, Singapore, Taiwan, and Hong Kong, offer valuable insight to how strategic investments in vocational education training can enhance our vocational training, industrialization, and sustain economic growth. I will be starting with South Korea. South Korea's post-war economic development relied heavily on vocational training and education. In the 1970s and the 1980s, Development Board in 1961 brought about financial investment, with foreign companies accounting to 75% of manufactured output by 2001. Vocational training institutions aligned industry needs. Yes.
POI. You mentioned something about auto mechanic and having to do with South Korea, but you know you cannot do anything. Will you call a normal mechanic to work on your car without without being properly studied? Would you do that? What do you have to say about that?
Okay. Vocational training has to deal with hands-on experience, physical experience. So without having all this physical experience, you cannot, even the ones you're talking about that they're learning in school, they still have to do with physical experience. They learn it physically for them to be able to achieve it outside. Thank you. Okay. Moving on to Singapore, moving on to Taiwan. Taiwan's focus on vocational education brought about export-oriented growth. In line with the historical knowledge, the rapid industrialization of Taiwan, supported by the vocational training, supplied skilled labor for its economy. In 1980, the industrial sector employed about 21.6% of the workforce, up from the 9.4% in 1965. This shift, facilitated by the vocational training, emphasized the need for technical skills. Mr. Chairman, how I would love for Nigeria to embrace and prioritize these inevitable truths in order for us to enjoy the benefits that the Asian tigers did. Mr. Chairman, it's also interesting to know that Hong Kong's economy was centered on services and finance. This greatly benefits them from the vocational training programs they received that helped them to adapt to the market demands. This institution focused on equipping students with real life skills relevant to their constantly evolving economic landscape, contributing to Hong Kong's status as a global financial center. The major challenges that brings about negative impact on Nigeria's economy is the non-prioritization of vocational education. The challenges that has faced vocational education and the vocational training sector in Nigeria include the first being underfunding of the education sector.